Good day. This week we've been learning about leaning into hearing God's voice, and we've seen that God's voice is a voice of love and acceptance. We've seen that when God corrects us, it's never degrading, and we've seen that God's voice is a voice that is cheering us on in our dreams. But I know that I've heard voices from other people that have really hurt and that have affected my self-worth and have affected what I thought would be possible. In Proverbs chapter 12 verse 6, it says, "The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood." The word blood there means death, or to destroy, or to shut the mouth, or utter words with the mouth closed. So oftentimes when wicked words have been spoken of us, over us, man, it causes us to shut down. Words have the power to create a negative self-image. Words like crazy, stupid, dumb, you're a failure, ugly, fat, skinny, clumsy, uneducated, slow, poor, idiot, pathetic, mistake, reject. Those are words that have been spoken by other people over us. And if we allow those words or those voices to get into our heart, they can really affect us. Lou Holt said this: "So what if someone wrote your obituary? That doesn't mean you're obligated to die." Just because somebody has spoken words of death over you doesn't mean that I have to die. It doesn't mean that I have to take those words and allow them to be a self-defeating prophecy for my future. We need to be very careful that we don't allow the words and opinions of other people to affect our hearts, where we believe those words as true and then live out of our hearts because of those self-defeating words. There are things that have been spoken over my life when I was growing up, that really affected me and affected my self-worth. And I started to have many issues because of those words spoken up over my life. And I had to make a decision that I was rather going to believe the voice of God than the voice of people. And when I began to live from my Father's voice, a voice of love and acceptance, a voice of encouragement, a voice that was cheerful, that attracted me toward Him, then those things began to affect my heart. And I want to encourage you, if people have spoken words of death over you, to rather forgive and to let go of those words and not to believe those words as the final authority in your life, but rather to take what God's word has said about you, what God's word of affirmation over you as truth, rather than the opinions and voices of other people. When I start to believe the truth of what God says about me, I start to see my dreams being accomplished. But if I'm going to allow the voices of people to be the final authority, then I'm going to live with a ceiling over my life, which is not what God has for you. I want to encourage you, listen to the voice of God, not the voice of people. Always remember, you are highly favored and deeply loved of God.